Alright, so here we go again. Let's see. Let's grab cube. Jump into, I think, 1 on the keyboard, or 1 on the number pad. We'll need to join these two forms together temporarily, so let's join them. And now we have the scale of these. So in X, I have this. So I'm going to take this cube and go like that. And I'm going to take this one. There we go. Now we'll say this one's 20. Ooh, 20 is huge. How about 10? So this is going to be the end cap that basically connects when it folds in. Alright, so the bit, if we take this one, we have this bit, but we have to think about tolerance. So if we take 7.497 and add a 0.5 to it, using we can use a calculator if you have to. So just copy that over and paste it in. Plus 0.5 equals, and we can copy that and paste it over here. Now that was pretty easy to do on this part. Trust me, there's parts that you have to kind of think about the tolerance factor on that make it a little bit more challenging, but that worked out quite well for tolerance. So hex square adapter, remember we want to isolate the weirdness. So in this case, let's insert an edge loop right there. And then we'll go Boolean difference square drill adapter and apply. Okay, there we go. Now we have that. So when it folds up, by the way, I didn't delete that drill, it's over there, or that bit. So when it folds up, I would want it to fold into this. Okay. So I would take these, hit tab, go into the vertices, and I can grab these two and slide it down. Notice that again, that tolerance factor is about the same. If you need to measure it, you can measure it, or you can just eyeball at that point. But these two forms need to touch. See how they're touching? So I could take this one and unionize them. So this one, Boolean, union, and I don't know what this one's called. I think it's called cube 04. And then hit apply. I get this extra part here that I can get rid of, but in the end what I got is this. Cool. Now I would say it would be annoying sometimes. It would probably open in your pocket a lot, you know what I mean? So what could we do to stop that? Well, I have this face. Shift D to duplicate it. I can grab its edge. You can see it's made of, that face is kind of dirty because of the Boolean operation. We'll save it by going like this. L, mesh, vertices, separate selection, hit tab into it, hit Control R, and it's really dirty because look at that. Might not be worth saving. Nope, definitely not worth saving. So we'll use this cube instead. Make this cube a little thinner. Right about there. Right about there. So I want something like this, and I want it to blend in. So Control R, insert an edge loop, and I'll taper that off, like that. Now, this new piece that I add on here, will it be 3D printable? And the answer is no. Because what happens is, I would be printing this one on this side. So I would lay it flat. This side would be on the 3D printer. Or this side would be on the 3D printer. But that would leave this as an overhanged object. Okay? And that overhang object is going to cause you some nightmares later on. So, you have two different options. One, you could take it and glue it onto the object using super glue, and then it works out quite well. Or you can print it with some kind of like support material. You can also print it this way going up. That way is only 64 in Z. So that's not too bad, actually. If you print it that way, it would have to be a little bit thicker, however. So at least 2.5. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to print it going up. That's the plan, man. Alright. So what we'll do is put something like that. Let's go to a top-down view. Let's Control R it. Put some edge loops in here. An edge loop right there. And an edge loop right here. We'll grab these faces right here and Control E to extrude them, and we'll extrude them down. So since this is a separate part altogether, I can jump into the vertices and move them pretty easy. And then join these two together. Join this one and this one via union. Cube 03 and Cube 04. Oop, not difference, we want union. There we go. And we'll get rid of the old part. So there we go. And wow, that has like this weird thing going on. So it has a so what I did there is I grabbed the faces, but I didn't do it smart. So in this case, let's back up a little bit, kind of look at this at a top-down view again. I don't believe in editing. I think students should see my mistakes, you know, like really. I'm just like you. This time I'll marquee select this area and then hold Control and Shift, or Control in this area. So Control will make that lasso. Then double check if you have everything right. That looks a lot better. Check your scale too. So in this case, Control C. Good. Let's join these two together. Cool. So this time I just joined the other ones. That worked out good. So let's get rid of the old part, and there we got a nice little interactive model that we could 3D print. So how would we lay this out? One more fun thing to think about is this bit. Like when it's not here, where is it? Like, is that in your pocket? Because that would be annoying. Since I stuck with all quads and I left out all weirdness, what I can do now is say, well, I can move this up, make sure the model isn't like too tall. 70 is pretty good. And then I can go to this one and move it up and match everything up. So now this bit right here could be right here. All we have to do there is make a cube the same size of that object. Thinking about tolerance, thinking about sturdiness of the part too. Now I would want to load that from the side here. So that's going to be my Boolean. Again, think about sturdiness. We would want this to barely go in there. Then you would have to think about other bits too. Who knows, like how tall other bits are. But I would say this is probably a pretty good standard. Alright, so that's cube 01, and what I want to do is take this one and Boolean it to a difference. Should I isolate it? Yes. It's already quite isolated, but right here at the top, to about right there. Reassure myself that it's cube 01, and go to cube 01. There we go. So now let's see what we got. Well, we have this object that has a nice little hole in it that could store the bit. And we're ready to rock and roll. Now, let's take in this and lay it out in the next video so it's 3D printable. We can get rid of all the other garbage. And I'll see you there.